So the price came down. People bought more silver. Then it went up like a fraction. People bought more. Then it gets hammered again. So the price went from, let's call that 24.75 down to 22.5. So about 2.25. The price goes down while metal's added. It's been skyrocketing ever since then. It's still at 23.5. Well, hello there, my friends. Chris Mark is here with you for Arcadia Economics. This is going to be a quick one. Although some interesting developments in silver on the move, the SLV and the Silver Trust. Also a note about gold in there as well before we wrap up. But if you take a look here, this is the great Gold Charts R Us. Thank you, Nick Laird. See the blue line here? That's the amount of metal that SLV and the other trusts claim to have, even though I think there's probably some double counting going on there. Gray line is the price. So you see, this is the 6 month. Let's back this out to a 3 month version here. Oh, that was the 3 month. Let's look at the 1 month. See, okay. So you see here when the price is at 24 and a little over 24.5 there. As the price goes down, in a typical supply market, price goes down because supply is overwhelming demand. Yet once again, we see the rather counterintuitive Silver Trust pattern where metal actually was spiking up. So here, the price gets clobbered. And as has been reported here on Arcadia Economics, I had Andy Scheckman talk about it on the physical level. And this was before Justin Trudeau was issuing bank holidays or whatever he's doing up there. So the price came down. People bought more silver. Then it went up like a fraction. This is what Jeff Curry or Jeff Christian would be like, oh, it went up that day. People bought more. Then it gets hammered again. So the price went from, let's call that 24.75 down to 22.5. So about 2.25. The price goes down while metal's added. It's been skyrocketing ever since then. It's still at 23.5. So any Goldman or JP Morgan or CFTC officials or bankers, all really the same thing at this point. Guys, ever want to talk about that, let me know. I left a voicemail for Jeff Curry, which I recorded today. We'll publish that soon. If you want to talk, Jeff, let me know. Left a message for Ross Behnam. Wasn't as friendly. Not sure if I'll publish that one yet. Ross, you want to talk soon? Let me know anytime, bro. Here is, let's back out silver. This was been catching my eye. I've been meaning to share this for a while. Because what is also interesting, in addition to that, 4-week change iShares. So over the last 4 weeks, they're saying they added 22 million ounces of silver there. I call BS on that one. Some things I can't share in the show, but I can share in the discovery room. So Ross, if you don't like what I said today, go to the discovery room. You can explain this. By the way, Ross's silver investigation was started last year, February 1st. It's over a year old. I submitted all the evidence on February 12th of how the price of silver fell 10% on February 2nd, the day after Ross's investigation began, how it fell, why it fell, who caused it to fall, why they were involved, how they were involved. And I put all the evidence into a file. That was the first of 3 files I submitted. And they can go to the Boca Raton Futures Conference, tamp down the price, brag to it about their friends from the banks who get fined, yet still vote on Ross's CCP market policy. And then he finds JP Morgan $75 million more so he can fund the CFTC CCP Christmas party bonus pool. But it goes on. They don't want to talk to me. So I don't want to talk to you either at this point. But I'm going to do something about it because here you see 22 million ounces went in while they say the price is coming down. There, long-term holdings. It's 22 million ounces into SLV. And again, here's the 1 year. You can see it here. There's the price falling. Here's the silver being added. Of course, we know what happened other times. We won't go through every single one because that would take years. Here's a silver squeeze. Look at that spike. Greatest spike in the history of silver. Let's show you the long-term chart so you can see I'm not making this up. Long-term. Here's 1997. I believe that was reported. I'm not sure. I think that had something to do with Warren Buffett. That was before SLV was invented. So I guess when I said in the history of Silver Trust, I was looking at the 20-year chart. Here, I think SLV was 2006. I'll bet was that one. So I'd have to do some digging to find out what that one is, which actually could be bigger than what we saw Silver Squeeze weekend. But aside from that, here's Silver Squeeze weekend. And you can see these are 3 days. If you can see, there's 3 separate lines there. All 3 of them would basically, at least the second and 2 of the 3, be greater than anything in the history of Silver Trust. in the face of Ross Behnam's fraudulent investigation, February 1st, done nothing about it. I emailed them. I called them. They won't talk to me. They don't want to hear anything to do with me. They don't want to hear the evidence. They know the crime's going on. They know they have the evidence. They don't want to do anything about it because they're getting paid to cover it up. Are we clear now? Ross, you clear on that? Call me anytime, man. All right, let's move on. By the way, anyway, here's Silver Squeeze. Let's get a 2-year on that baby. You see historic amounts of metal added in, and there's the price falling even on the day they were added in. So some of this stuff, I'm glad I'm finishing up my evidence file and not going to do as much of this going forward, get some other things in life so I can mellow out. But it's kind of hard to watch, especially since you see the same thing in the gold market. Here, look at the 3-month chart if I can get it to click on that, which is not going well, although I think we got it. So there you go. Here, yellow bar is the gold price, blue bar, the amount of metal. So here we see gold price drop from 1850 to 1790 right after a big chunk of gold was added in. So here, there the price and the amount meet. Gold price goes up, more metal goes in, price gets hammered. Although now we've seen the gold price catch up. Would be quite interesting if we ever saw the silver price do that. Some days seems like it's happening slowly. Now, here's an interesting one. This is the OCC report by the government. You may have heard Bix Weir talk about that one. And it's interesting because here's a notational amount of interest rate and FX gold contracts by maturity. And you see it's gotten bigger. This is FX and gold. I guess that's interest rate on top. Well, here's the real key one. Notional amount of precious metals contract by maturity. And for some reason, it's gotten a lot bigger over the last 20 years. I would say this is the amount of paper is required to suppress the price, make your own decisions. I'm not trying to convince anyone or offer legal financial advice, but just share my own thoughts. And thank First Majestic Silver, who brought us this video. That's run by Keith Newmeyer. And if you want to know why I would be partnered with them, well, a lot of reasons, and especially here's a good one to start with, because this is where Keith Newmeyer was actually called by CNBC. They wanted to talk to him about the Silver Squeeze weekend. So they called him twice, actually. Then eventually didn't air the clip. But you may want to watch that one, see why that happened. Or check out First Majestic Silver, see if that's something you may want to know about or have some knowledge of, rather than just understanding treasuries that the government says are for you. And either case, just some things to keep an eye on in the silver market, because you're not often told some of the things going on beneath the scenes, unless you come to channels like this and a lot of the other good ones out there. But certainly this is Arcadia Economics. You can hit the subscribe button and the notification bell to stay posted, and I will see you again later.